And the other thing that I think is really controversial, and I don't know which executive in CBC, and that's why they're in financial shambles, and that's why they've lost almost everything. They didn't televise the baseball game of the United States versus Canada, or Canada versus the United States, which was a big item.
Well, it's crazy because the game ended up being an instant classic, and it's an absolute shame it wasn't on television.
But like if I'm an advertiser, and I bought advertising on CBC, I'd be freaking.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, it's tough because you don't really know where to get the games right now. Some are on CBC. There's been some on Sportsnet.
But CBC has the main...
all over the place, right?
No, but CBC bought the games, technically.
Yep, no,
what I've read, just like 1 year the Olympics, CBC lost them to Bell Global Media.
Yep.
CBC's got the Pan Am Games.
Yeah, I mean...
whoever is up there in the hierarchy of CBC should be fired.
Well, Frank, listen, you're right. I mean, the gold medal game between Canada and the U.S. Has a ton of interest. I mean, it's a game that everyone wants.
Baseball. It's baseball. It's also Americans' game. It's their game, and we beat them.
And we beat them again. And I was at the Blue Jays game on Sunday, right before that game happened, and they were advertising that game on the Jumbotron at the Blue Jays game, saying, good luck to Canada's Pan Am baseball team taking on the Americans later on today. So they were advertising it at the Rogers Center, but yet you're right. I mean, where was it on television? The game ended up, like I said, the U.S. scores 2 runs in the top of they go to extra innings. They score 2 runs, take the lead, and then a costly error, and Canada rallies with a heroic 3-run inning in the bottom of the inning to win a very entertaining game.
It was a great game. I don't understand. I really don't understand why they have made some, in the administration or the committee of the Pan Am Games should give shit to the CBC.
Listen, I mean, I don't know whose decision it was not to have it on the air, whether it was based on what time the game was being put. I have no idea.
It doesn't matter. There's no excuse.
No, I'm with you, Frank. I wish I had the answer.
There's no rationale. I'm telling you right now, there's no rationale whatsoever.
No, listen, I'm not the biggest fan in the world of the Pan Am Games, but if you're going to say to me which event you want to see, I'm going to want to see Canada take on the U.S. in the gold medal baseball game. That's what I want to see, and the fact that that's not...
And I'm sure that a lot of Americans that have not followed the Pan Am Games in Canada as closely as the Olympics are being followed, this would have been a way to reel them in.
Absolutely.
That's called great programming. That's great marketing, and talk about having patriotism to the extreme. Baseball Canada versus baseball USA.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, the reason why they don't follow the Pan Am Games as much is because they can't. They don't know the athletes. They don't know who they are.
But it's not just the athletes. It's some of the sports that are there are not mainstream sports. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's also true. But that's the thing.
A lot of people are not going to watch the badminton championship of the world,
ping pong or whatever. Yeah, and I get it. But I'm agreeing with you, Frank. I'm saying
I'm agreeing with that. You're agreeing with me. I'm just saying that I don't think it's a lot of.
And
unless you have returning gold medalists or people that have made a brand for themselves, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Even in the Olympics, you have or the Commonwealth Games or whatever different tournaments that there is in the world, right, of sports. You always have new people like Phillips, the swimmer. He came from nowhere when he started. Nobody knew who he was.
And then Michael Phelps, then he won all the...
Michael Phelps. Nobody knew who he was, or Mark Spitz when he came out the first time and he won everything.
You're right. No, and I mean...
And that's what people do. People go watch these things, right?
You're right.
Watch these things.
America even knew who Usain Bolt was.
If a new star, if they're going to witness the emergence of a brand new superstar.
Absolutely. And I think that's the great thing about amateur sports is you give these athletes a chance to be on that platform, or a chance to excel at their sport, and if they do it really well, the athletes that you just mentioned, they have a chance to get sponsorship deals. They have a chance to move on and be very successful at doing what they do in their sport. I mean, Phelps got a Subway sponsorship deal. There's a lot of money if you can go and excel at an amateur level.